And good evening and welcome to your view. Of course, tonight we're talking big economics. You know, Floyd Shivambu got a lot of time for Floyd, a big economics mind. In fact, a no match actually to many MPs on both sides of the corridors in Parliament. And tonight we'll be talking about what he thinks of the state of South Africa's economy. The EFF has fashioned themselves around what they say is economic freedom in our lifetime. But do they have what it takes? If they were in power tomorrow, what economic freedom would they bring about? So we're talking about that. Of course, you can call us throughout the night. We're going to be having a long one tonight from 9:30 up to 11 o'clock with Floyd Shivambu. You must go and put on the kettle because it's going to be heated indeed. As it's always interesting talking to the Deputy President of the EFF. So we'll be talking about the economy. And before I get to the Davos, which is starting tonight, and I would like to also hear what Floyd has to say about it. I mean, the Parktown Boys situation is a bloody disgrace. You know, when there is death, we must not be trivial about it, right? Because indeed, accidents can happen. You know, accidents are not a preserve of certain schools or certain communities. An accident can happen at any time to anybody. It is how you respond to that accident that either makes you a decent person or a scoundrel. And I think it's a disgrace that the parents of a child left in the care of Parktown Boys have to hear in the press that he's no more. In the press, in the media first. And then the principal has the temerity to call the parent and say, are you sure you dropped off your child? It's a disgrace, man. It's a disgrace. The school governing body must take action against that principal. Someone must fall on their sword. Because if that doesn't happen, all of the parents who leave their children there every day must ask the question, are our children safe in the hands of this scoundrel who didn't think anything untoward to ask a parent to say, hey, by the way, are you sure you dropped him off? It's a disgrace. It's truly a disgrace. I mean, I just don't have the words. I don't have the words. I just cannot fathom a phone call from a school asking me a stupid question. Oh, did you actually drop him off? Can you believe it? And of course, oh, you know, the air is human. It's a disgrace. Hana media ito observer school meeting. The parent. That's why they have to keep the meeting a secret. It's a public meeting. That school is subsidized one way or another with public funds. Don't sit outside, or we're not going to allow you to come in here and so on, because they want to. What is it that they're trying to hide? When they want children to come to their school to come and pay ridiculous fees here, they do open days and they bring the whole world to come there. Today, when there is a tragedy that shows their neglect, who are you? You are not part of this school. Just sit outside. It's disgraceful, and I hope that action is going to be taken. People are not going to be protected here. A life has been lost, and that is unacceptable. Anyway, I didn't want to talk about that, but I was just irritated by just the disgraceful of nature of it all. Anyway, Davos, man. Hey, every year there's a song and dance on the 20th. People go to Switzerland there at huge cost. You will fall off your chair if you calculated how much South Africa has spent on going to Davos for the last 25 years. You will fall off your chair. Homework. You will fall off your chair. That money could have been put to better use. And I'm not being negative. I'm telling you, Davos is truly a piece of shame, really. It's a piece of shame. What we have spent time there, there is no return on investment. Let's be clear about it. If you have an economy who the IMF has even told us, even as early as yesterday, that now you must revise your growth targets. You don't know what you're talking about. If you think your economy is going to grow, you are dreaming. They've been telling us that for ages. We have unemployment rate of 55%. Means more than half of this country is unemployed. And we've been going to Davos, like disciples of Davos for 26 years. Davos is more like a community of conformity. We are quite just to, you go there to pay your respect to the world order, not to disrupt it. That's as simple as that. You know what I'm talking about? Mandela come out of prison, and Tito Mboweni is over there, so I can talk behind his back today. He's over there, and they don't have 405 in Davos. Change speeches Mandela. Mandela no nationalized. We want the land with freedom charter. Patata. But so Kuala speeches that thing and that made the old man to say nothing. In Davos, in the front of the world, man. The guy has been thinking for 27 years, comes out, says nothing in Davos. People of Africa are so poor. Oh, help us all the world. Thank you so much for liberating us. But change speeches I go Davos. What was nationalization? But to buy two man. But what buy? Can I go down over to Tipex? Buy two. It's coming to bite now. And now we say, hey, we're in so much trouble and so. The chickens are coming home to roost. When we had a time to tell the world the truth about what we need done here to uplift our people, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. We went there to conform. We went there to conform to the system. Hey, African rice, I'm an African. Hey, the mosquito, but we're not getting you. Africa is in a shambles and so on. In fact, it was better under. They told him where to get off. Town big. I was furious. They didn't listen to his philosophies there. Davos, it will humble you there. Heads of state are walking around here. And you feel so important. It's men about town. Right? We're rubbing shoulders with the Bill Gates of this world, and it's so nice. And then you come home to 55% unemployment. Wasting money. Big delegations. Even about what about shopping, what I got the boots. What about Maruru got the voice? But I got the boots to the justice at the moon. The SNT moon. It's like Kamutal. SNT at the Davos. Got the euro. It's a disgrace, man. When we don't have priorities. We don't have priorities in Zubaine. Just take a look at this.
An awkward question, but in preparing for this interview, I was actually asked this by so many of the women who are here, because it relates to an issue that they see as one of equality and treatment of women. You have many wives. You practice polygamy. There are many people who say this is symbolically a great step backward for the leader of South Africa to be embracing a practice that they say is inherently unfair to women. How do you react?
Well, it depends what culture you come from. People interpret cultures in different ways. And some think that their cultures are superior to others. That's a problem we have in the world. That's a problem which we need to deal with. We follow a policy that says we must respect the cultures of others. That's a culture. That's my culture. It does not take anything from me, from my political beliefs and everything, including the belief on the equality of women. It's my culture. And I'm sure there are other cultures that do that kind of thing. The problem is that when people have their own cultures, think that their cultures are the only right one, probably the only one accepted by God, does not work that way.
You believe you treat all your wives equally?
Absolutely. Totally equal. Totally equal.
I think there are...
Oh, get let. You know, so the heads of state gather, they're talking about the economy, they're talking about the oil price, they're talking about, the recession, they're talking about, how the world, and then comes South Africa, but hey, let's talk about art and culture. Let's talk about art and culture. And Israel, hey, don't disrespect my culture. But the very essence of it is that they don't take him seriously as a contributor to why they have gathered in Davos. This is not the Cannes Film Festival. This is Davos. They are discussing the economy, the world economy, how to maintain the status quo of the world order that's keeping you and me oppressed. I know, I'm sorry. No. You treat your wife equal. That's when South Africa should have had a clear message to boycott the damn thing. If your president is treated like that, we know I'm sorry, there is his own problems, but more they were just simply looking down on him. And then of course comes Cyril Ramaphosa, hey, song and dance, hey, and he didn't waste any time. The guy's been deputy president forever. He gets there, says, hey, 9 wasted years. Hey, what a waste. Hey, Mutagwa Arasuta, 9 wasted years. And people gathered there, there is nodding in unison. The CEOs of big corporations, what a wasted. Hey, no kaipa. When the years were being wasted. No, I was just deputy. Why is the deputies don't have so much power, In any event, I didn't really mean it so badly. I just thought that we could have done better in the 9 years. Why is Pina and during the elections? Silly. Promising heaven and earth. Now he's not going this year. Why? Because of the Raymond. The lights are out. How do you invest in your economy? That place is it's not an accident that they got brand South Africa to be the one that's in charge there. It's all about pretty pictures and flowers and attracting investors who otherwise are skeptical. In their minds, they're still having Zuma in his head. And he went to Davos. Hey, I was looking at at the timetable. He went there many times. They didn't discourage him from that after that whole fiasco about his treating his wives equally and so. He kept going there. So they're still having that mentality in mind. Then you come and tell them all is going to be well. We're going to fix ESCOM. In fact, so enthusiastic to please that world order that the president, at that point deputy president, fired the whole ESCOM board and put a new board 3 or 4 days before Davos in that year. That's how eager he wanted to please Davos. He's now the billionaire in charge now. Yeah. Hey, let's take him to Davos. But sabotage economy, sabotage investment. What do you have to say? Don't tell me about NEC of ANC. They could have postponed it and had it next week, man. Davos is 2 days. It's because we have now realized that we have to fix our domestic situation, do our priorities, do South Africa first, man. Before song and dance, because that's coming to bite. Those people are not convinced. Even at the back of those Davos promises, they still downgraded us, made us junk status and all of these things. That should tell us plenty. Instead of spending millions, ferrying people there, they're having a jolly good time in Davos. It's a platform of conformity. That's what it is. You go there to Machakora, you're still in order. If they realize you are growing some socialist tentacles, but they'll ask you about Nkan. Or when are you attending to your wives who are busy here with big methods of international cooperation? It's bad how we cannot see the woods for the trees. I think there's a phrase of that nature. Anyway, Flesi Bamboo at the bottom of this hour helps me to understand. Does it mean anything? Maybe if the EFF government to go, will they go to Davos or they just tell Davos to go away? I don't know. He's going to tell us, of course, many other issues coming up. They've just emerged out of a People's Assembly a successful one, at it, well attended, well organized, and of course he's going to tell us a little bit about what that has meant to shaping the EFF going forward.